12, you had a Chevy. I broke your water like a levee. I knew my worth, you wasn't ready. You knew yourself, you dodged me heavy. 2012, you had a Chevy. I broke your water like a levee. I knew my worth, you wasn't ready. You knew yourself, you dodged me heavy. I'm trying to make amends, ain't no giving.
Hey guys, happy holidays. It's Tizzy time. And today we're getting into it all. We're talking about, of course, Thanksgiving, the best holiday of the year after Christmas, I say it's the best holiday of the year is because, you actually get to eat and be a gluttonous asshole and nobody looks at you differently. Like you can eat 4 plates and nobody will say, hey, that's enough, or make you feel self-conscious about eating so much. They actually, enable you to eat more. So yes, my favorite holiday. And today like I said, we're talking about Thanksgiving, but we're also talking about all the things we should be thankful for as well, guys. And that's going to be a majority of what we get into in the beginning. But yeah, how's everybody been doing? How's everybody been prepping for their last couple of weeks in 2021? Are they getting their goals in order for 2022? Like, what's up, guys? Talk to me. Like, I need to know. But today, I'm talking about expanding my business and what I've been doing with my consultancy company, with Chantizzy TV, with the Chantizzy Podcast, and ultimately Chantizzy the Conglomerate, long term. I'm talking about plans and preparation for the new year, and you guys are gonna love what I'm talking about today. What else? Oh, talking about what it means to transition, whether it's through a season or for a reason or for a lifetime, what a transition is for us. Talking about toxic relationships. Are they, enablers into more trauma, or toxic relationship just trauma bonds that we don't know how to avoid? I'm also going to be asking questions about the structure of parenthood, things like that, and the whole baby mama, baby daddy stigma. And what else am I talking about? That's all I'm gonna get into today. I wrote a bunch of note downs. I'm actually reading basically my plan and my script for this episode, but I just kept adding and not really looking what I was gonna talk about. What did I say? What else was I saying I was going to talk about? Oh, yes, my Black Empower Summit, just going to some deeper context about it. So let's get started. First and foremost, expanding my business. What I've been working on is my consultancy company. Within the last couple of weeks, I've been, consulting and talking with a few people about their business, whether it's, jumping into the job sphere in a field that they do on their free spare time, or, something they want to learn about more. Talking to people who already have established small businesses and just trying to get that, that demographic enabled, and just try to get that reach on social media platforms. And, just aiding people on becoming influencers. So I'm in 3 different markets right now, just brand marketing, influencer marketing, and the last one was more so on, consulting more so in a personal front. So like I said on Instagram, if you still need those consultations, I am doing consultations free. I said it was for a week, but I think I will do it to the end of the year. Now, if we're going into, and let me make myself clear because I didn't really clarify. If I'm saying that I'll do a consultation for free, a consultation is ultimately a quick 1-2 to learn more about your company, learn more about your business. You tell me more about it. Also, more time for you to learn about me, learn about what I'm doing and how I can, bring success to either your brand, your product, or your service, or your product. I think I said product already. So your brand, service, your product, or your company. But basically within a consultation, we just sit down for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, discuss what you need done, whether it's website generation, social media marketing, data analysis, copywriting, things like that. And then we move forward and see if that's something that you would want to, work with me on. I've been being very nice. I've been doing a graphic for people, a grid, posting on their behalf. But once that's done, through the end of the year, once that's finished, I will no longer be doing that. So you better catch me while it's hot, because I will start implementing my rates. So that's what I've been doing as far as my business. I've just been trying to expand. The next 2 years, I really want to dedicate not only my time, but also my whole well-being into my business, because ultimately within the next 3 to 5 years I don't want to be working for anybody. I just want to be, well, ultimately I'll still be working for people, but I mean working for a company. I'd rather just be, freelancing or doing consultancy through my own business. um and that's a great segue into plans and preparation for the new year. Excuse me. So what I want everybody to do, and this is something that I've been doing, so I'm not really sure how everybody feels about it, but I would love if you guys get on the same track as me. Um, this year for my plans and goals for next year, excuse me, for my plans and goals for 2022, I said that I would plan two goals that are definitely realistic, achievable, and short term, and then one dream, and I put that in quotes. So what I mean by a dream is a long-term goal that will take planning before it takes execution. So my first goal is to start saving so I can build my forever home. Within the next 3 to 5 years, I definitely want to build up my house from scratch, implement all my personal touches, and just have a home with land. Number two is manage my money better so I can start investing more into my business and my dream. My money management skills are shit, for lack of a better term, and I just need to do better with money management. So that's really a goal for me for this year into next. And then my one dream slash a long-term goal is to get my podcast to 10,000 subscribers. And that's something that, it takes a village to do. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm able to do it myself. But like I said, if you listen to my podcast, know of my podcast, have some idea of it, if you could just share and have people listen, support is free. And I always say that to support a friend, a peer, even somebody you don't know is free. And you never know what that would be doing for them. And, just support is free. And I'm going to say one thing too, like when this podcast blows up, just keep your energy. Like if you're not supporting it, just keep that energy. Don't be a dick rider once it's on Spotify and YouTube and stuff, like, because I will call you out right on the show too. Like I hate that. Don't be a poser. Don't act like you were down for the cause when all you used to do was tweet about how you hated, the cause. So I also put two other like goals that I want to do, but I know I only said two, but ultimately you could do 4 goals that are short term and achievable, and then one that's long term and takes a little bit of time. But my other 2 short term goals were have a launch party. So I was supposed to do that for season 4, but then I wound up moving and relocating, so it was, well, right now it's totally difficult to have my family in New York come to where I am to do a launch party. So for season 5, I definitely want to do a launch party, and I definitely want to do it up very big. And then 5 is to have a successful Black Empower Summit. So a lot of people don't know, but during Black History Month of next year on 2/2/22, which is also my dad's birthday, I said this last podcast, I'm trying to implement together a Black Empower Summit where Black people just basically come forward and connect and network amongst other Black professionals, whether it be in the service industry, whether it be in the hospitality industry, whether it be in corporate America, whether it be in the food industry, just various industries getting together, networking. And then I'm going to have a few, of course, keynotes and a few, TED Talks, for lack of a better term, so people could learn more about the industry should they want to penetrate it or integrate into it, or just in case they want to learn more about a new market, That's what I'm hoping to have. And this is perfect because now I'm going to transition into transition. So that wasn't as clean as I thought it was, but it's still getting to the point. Transition. So what does it mean to transition? So I was talking to a friend today. I won't put her on the spot, but she knows who she is if she's listening. We spoke today about how she relocated to another city from New York, just like me. And, just how the transition was difficult in her beginning stages. But now that she's in her 3rd year living in this town, she's slowly assimilating into her comfort. So one thing I want to say about that is it's so funny that, I was going to speak on this today on my podcast. And that's what we talked about. It's so funny how the world has a way of, just coming back full circle. But what I feel like transition means for not only us as millennials, but overall us as people. Transition means a change in our lives that can either be for the better or for the worse. But to me, I feel like what it means to transition is to change for the better. So, another thing I propose to you, if you're interested, is start writing how you want to transition within the next year or two. And it's so funny because I was talking to Alexis too about transition and how her feelings have transitioned over the last year or two, towards, a certain someone. Not gonna put her on blast, but just showing she's gonna kill me by saying this. But we were talking about basically, transitioning, and I asked Alexis like, what made you come to your catharsis about the transition of your feelings? So it's just funny that that's what I talked about today with two people. My computer just locked on me, so if you hear like clicking, that was me typing my computer. And yeah, so basically, transition to me means just getting into the groove of things and ultimately assimilating into who you are. That's the transition I feel like hits me hardest, like transition where you want to change for the better. Um, that was just a quick, thing on transitions. I don't want to get too in depth on what transitioning and changing is. If you want to learn about that, go to my So Fresh, So Clean podcast from last season, and I talk about transition and preparing for your season. So just go in and listen to that. So the next couple of minutes, and like I said, for podcasts upcoming, since I'm doing it 2 times a week, the longest I want to do a podcast is about 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm halfway through my marker. Well, not halfway, I would say a quarter through my marker. So just trying to time myself well. But toxic relationships. I want to talk about the situation between Danny Lay and the baby. One thing I will never do is condone domestic violence, whether it's a woman putting her hands on a man or a man putting his hands on a woman. Keep your filthy hands to yourselves, you animals. Stop putting your hands on people. Don't put your hands on people. But anyway, the Danny Lay and the baby situation, just a little background for people who don't know. The baby had went live around sometime last week, just putting his girlfriend or the mother of his child, Danny Lay, who's also an entertainer, on blast. I don't know what started the discord or what started the quarrel, but she wound up like trying to hit the phone and snatch the phone with him, and all while holding her child in her hands and feeding her. So that occurred a couple hours later. Excuse me, it was reported that Danny Lay was arrested for simple assault against the baby. And then the baby went live again and just basically went forward and was like, I was never in love with this woman. She was always a side chick. I don't love her. She basically, and then he started going off on her family, saying her family didn't love the baby because the baby was darker tone. And he was saying that Danny Lay, put brujeria or, Santeria, a form of Spanish witchcraft on him. And that's why he was the way he was with her. I have 2 words for that whole situation, and it's clownery. And I know clownery is 1 word, but it's 2 syllables, so let's break it up into that. Clownery. I feel like if you're having problems with your significant other or people you truly care about or people you have to maintain relationships with, I think social media is the last place you should report to. And the reason why is because people don't realize when you basically resolve your issues with the person, social media doesn't forget. And that's for anybody. It's not even just for personal brands or personal imagery. It's for companies too. Like, you put something out and it's frowned upon, it's there forever. People will always subject that next to your name. So I just feel like it was clownery because it didn't need to be brought to social media. And then also, I'm just upset with Danny Lay. And I'm going to explain why I have anger towards her instead of the baby. But I'm also mad at the baby as well. He's an asshole. I mean, I said that last podcast as well. Like, he's rich and has the resources. But it's like, at this point, it's like, no matter how many resources he has, he's still going to be ignorant to the culture and the climate of what culture is in communication right now. So I'm very big on communication. And I feel like, and that's why I went back to school actually, because I was learning broadcasting. And I said this today on the phone too. I said, it's so funny. I studied how we, send out the messages, but I wanted to go back to school to learn what messages we're sending out. How are we communicating? What are we communicating? So it's just so funny to me that it seems like the baby is communicating ignorance, carelessness, nonchalantness. He doesn't care. Like, he's a person who feels like, I'm rich, I'm goated, I'm popular, people know me. It's nothing that I can do to get me canceled because people love me. And I feel like that's a wrong way to go about it. Not only for entertainment purposes, but you as a person. That can communicate and ultimately ruin communication relationships with people you want to communicate with. Like, ultimately, this is going to be heavy discord for him and Danny Lay in the future. And, it's crazy because they have a child together. So it's just like, I hate when it gets messy when there's a child involved. But, not to stray, the reason I get mad, or the reason I am saying I'm mad at Danny Lay, is because Danny Lay is her own independent entity. Danny Lay was someone before the baby, and she'll be someone after the baby. I mean, she collaborated with Chris Brown for her first song. She was choreographing and writing for Prince and at 18. So she's someone, and she's been hitting with A-list celebrities, So it makes me upset because it's like, stop focusing on a man and how he's embarrassing you, and just, love yourself, move forward, take care of your daughter, and call it a day. You never have to be with Jonathan again. And yes, I'm saying government names. You don't have to be with Jonathan again. Raise your daughter and live your life. And that's a recurring theme. We as women have to remember, especially women as mothers, put your children first. It bothers me to know that you guys are out here chasing men and doing everything for a male's attention, but not taking care of your kids. It's disgusting. Like, for all of that, you should have just kept the legs closed, sis. Like, So I just feel like I'm mad at Danny Lay because Danny Lay should have just got up out of there, regardless of what, and took her daughter with her and moved along. Because ultimately, him embarrassing you on live ultimately showed you and communicated to you how he feels about you. And, like I said, not just mad at her, just disappointed because I want more for her. I always want more for the women because it's just like men constantly show you who they are and what they do. And we as women, we just think with our hearts instead of our minds. We have to bypass emotion and go straight for logic. And I feel like that's why I'm mad at Danny Lay, because she needs to go for logic. This man has never openly claimed you on social media. It's been jokes amongst the common folk, us peasants who are not touching money like they are, laughing at her and saying how he never claimed her. And then now that he openly said it to her, it's just it's just ludicrous, because ultimately it's like he's saying one thing to you, of course, but now you're in a place where his words are not his bond. And basically he's saying one thing to you and then other things about and around you. So, ultimately, shout outs to Danny Lay. I wish her the best in her situation, one woman to another. And, just, he'll be back. They always come back. They always love to see you doing better. Men are wicked. Like, they love to see you healed up and totally over them. And then they want to either get you back or manipulate you and be narcissists to keep you to stay in that damaged mindset. So, shout outs to Danny Lay. Wishing you well, Queen. Hoping, you can sit back and raise your daughter in peace. And, do what you got to do for your career, not anybody else's. And Kirk, shame on you because, Jonathan. Shame on you, the baby, because your daughter is going to have to grow up and see that one day. And, it's disrespectful. You brought your daughter into that warfare. And babies can feel energy. So now that baby has to go around feeling that and feeling her mother's sadness for some time. So do better, Jonathan. If you're going to have these women lay on their backs, be a good father figure. It takes two to tango. But moving along, that basically ties into my next question on what do I think. So I said, when does, the structure of parenthood come before personal needs? And that ties into like what I said, like putting your children first. I totally understand mama gotta have a life too, and all parents still have to have fun. But how do you even feel comfortable having fun if you know your child is not together or your children are not together? Go to the club, have fun, shake ass, do whatever you gotta do, but make sure your child's situated. I hate seeing you on social media having fun and your child's hair is not done, or they're wearing the same clothes from last week. Why is that? Why do you feel like being a mother and having fun equates to not caring for your child? Like, if your child's life is together, I'm not talking to you. If you're doing what's necessary, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who feel like they can go about their lives and just totally disregard their child. I'm tired of hearing about it on the news. Parents killing their kids, parents being, the word is on my tongue, being, damn, neglectful, yes, being neglectful to their children. Like, please don't lay on your back and open your legs if you can't care for a child. Like my father said not too long ago, do people know they can have sex without having babies? I don't think y'all know that. You can have protected sex and not have kids. Or another option, if you just have to go raw, get fucking birth control. Put it in your arm, put it in up your pussy, get an IUD. I don't know what else, depot shots, do something. And the same for men. Men, vasectomies are reversible. Like, if you know you don't want to have a kid right now, stop nutting in women. Like, sorry to be so raw and ranted, mommy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the P word, but you know, you have to be blunt sometimes for people to understand. And that's what I learned in communication. You can sugarcoat anything, but blunt is where you really get your point across. And that's in communication privacy theory. Look it up, guys. My next question was, why don't women get married anymore? Trust me, I see women out here getting married. And to extend my question and to put some emphasis on it, what I mean was, why don't women get married anymore? I basically meant, why don't women know their worth to get married before opening their legs and having a baby? Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not married and I partake in, sexual activity. I set that low. Somebody I already know. Somebody in my family's going to call me about this. But guys, I'm 25. Let's not act like, I'm not out there partaking. But I know there's a point in time, for me at least, where I want to have kids when I'm married. I would like to get my life in order before I go forward, and just decide to reproduce. And I know people are like, oh, it takes so much, people always try to plan to have kids. You can't plan a baby. And it's like, you can't plan a baby. There's some portions where you'll be unprepared, but I'd rather be semi-prepared than not prepared at all. And trust me, I totally understand, some people don't want to go through adoption. Some people don't want to go through abortion. Some people feel like, it's not right. But at least have yourself together in those 10 months. Get your life together. Put some things in order before you push a baby out. Don't just push a baby out expecting the world, So what I mean by why don't women want to get married anymore, I just basically mean what happened to the traditional way. We sit there and we want men to traditionally take care of us back in the day. Like, oh, a man should be doing everything for me. I just have to sit at home and, cook and clean or whatever you women nowadays think. But that's another thing too. Like, it's delusion to think a man that just meets you or a man you've been dating for a low amount of time should just be paying and throwing money out you out the woodworks. Girl, where's your fucking money? Like, it's giving broke. Like, I hate hearing and seeing women on social media like, oh, I need a man to give me $10,000 to talk to me. Where's your $10,000? Like, you don't have bread? I wouldn't even feel comfortable asking a man for that type of money knowing I don't have that myself. So we need to act our wage. That's a theme too. Act your wage and act your predicament. It's a lot of bitches jumping over P every day, talking about oh, I need a man who's going to give me $10,000 and open my business. Stop it, queen. And it's the same for niggas too. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of men out here expecting women to just push them along, give them free housing, take care of them, be mommy. I'm not your mother either. Like, we need to get it together. We need to start planting seeds in our younger generation and not being enablers, not just letting them see their way. Because this whole give me money, talk to me next is ghetto. Let's all vie for our own goals and accomplishments without having to worry about somebody else. Because the more you depend on a person, whether it's financially, emotionally, mentally, when that person's not there anymore, it just becomes like a void. It's called trauma bonding. Like, don't bond with men over trauma or for needs and necessities, because when he's unable to give it to you, then what? The next question. Oh, the next and last question in this topic was, why do we open our legs to men who we know are not the ideal candidate? Why do we have sex with men we know we don't want to have children with. And then when we do have children with them, we're bashing them. That's another thing I would love to stop seeing on social media. Please stop bashing your child's parents, whether it's a woman doing it to a man or a man doing it to a woman, because your child's going to see that one day. Stop posting your shit on social media. Have your private, epiphany, your private, group sessions and private. Talk. What happened to the regular way of communicating? Why do we feel like we have to openly communicate on social media? And that's what I went to school for. That's what I study, and that's what I continue studying. And I'll tell you why. We have become so fearful of face-to-face communication because not only where we've been the past 2 years with everything being virtual and COVID, but communication has been declining due to technology over the past 10 years. People are more comfortable with not having to see somebody face-to-face. People are more comfortable communicating through technology. So now we're in a society where we can't even talk if we wanted to because we have that fear of communication. And this is another theory too. It's called communication apprehension theory. And please look up these theories. They're very interesting, guys. And basically it says we're apprehensive on who we communicate with. And communication privacy theory and communication apprehension theory kind of tie into each other. So it's awesome. So yeah, why do we open our legs to men who we know are not the ideal candidate? Please, guys, if you listen to this podcast, please give me some feedback. I'm going to post a short on this on Instagram too, just so you could get the gist. But I would really love some feedback on why do we think that, we have sex with people we know we don't want to be with. Men too, like men, why do we go after someone who can just please us sexually or we're lustfully attracted to? Why don't we get with women who we know can, not only be our equal long term, but can pour into me as much as I pour into them, And last but not least, why temporary satisfaction but not a long-term mission? So my thing is, when I mean temporary satisfaction, you guys can, and everything is always temporary. So what I mean temporary is that you can be messing with a guy, dating a guy for 3 years to 5 years. And then, you're just temporarily happy with him. And then now you have this baby that's not something short term. This baby is with you for life and it bonds you two together for life. So why do we think short term for a long term decision? And I want to leave you with that. So like I said, I want feedback. If you have an answer to that, please forward the answer. And I wonder how much more time I have. And I'm typing again because my computer keeps sleeping on me. I have another 10 minutes. Oh, cool. Another 5 to 10 minutes. So I just want to talk about what I'm thankful for this year. And also, like I said, I would love to hear what you guys are thankful for this year. But the thing I'm thankful for is I'm thankful that regardless of my circumstance, God allows me to be strong enough to get up and fight. I'm thankful that I'm very confident in my personal life and my professional life. I'm thankful for my family who love me, even though sometimes I'm a dramatic, spoiled brat. I'm thankful for my friends who are the same way with me. I'm thankful for my partner who's patient with me. I really am thankful for Mizzy because he is very patient with me and he's loving and he understands that, when I'm dramatic and I cause a scene, that I'll be okay in the morning. I want to also say I'm thankful for people who listen to the podcast. I really am thankful for you guys, my consistent listeners, those who give me feedback, those who, are just tuning in, say, for example, 2 weeks, a month ago, 2 days ago, and are giving me feedback. I really appreciate everybody. Communications, broadcasting, digital marketing, podcasting. These are my passions. I love doing what I do. I'm very passionate about it. And I'm thankful for being passionate in all my goals as a true Aries. But like I said, I'm thankful for my podcast, ultimately, I also want to say that I'm thankful for patience. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm far from a patient person in anything, whether it's dreams, food, traffic. I'm not a patient person. I am the definition of impatient. Literally, if you open a dictionary, you'll see my picture right there with 2 peace signs up. Not two peace signs, maybe two middle fingers. But yeah, you get the point. But I'm thankful that this year I was able to go through so much loss and so much pain that I understood what it meant to endure and be patient for my next chapter. I just want to say I'm thankful in totality just for being able to wake up and live another day. And that's a big thing. Like, we don't just need to be thankful on Thanksgiving. We need to be thankful every day. And I want to leave you with this scripture. I actually wrote the scripture down that I saw yesterday. I hope I have a screenshot it still. Oh my God. And I just want to talk about how I was freaking food shopping and going around looking for stuff all day because I decided to make me and Mizzy a little small Thanksgiving. And I was like food shopping for 4.5 hours. I will never do that again. Like, that's, anyway, disregarding, everybody, disregarding. I can't find the scripture, so actually let me go into my Bible app and open the scripture because I think I have it. Highlights. Yes. Where is it? I had it yesterday. And then, yes, I sent it to Mizzy's cousin Drea. And I was going to use it for one of her posts on social tomorrow, but I feel like I should share. And once I share it, I'm also going to drop her food page and her influencer page. You guys better go follow her. So her Instagram is future_after_the_big_C. She's a breast cancer survivor, just telling her time and her healing process through breast cancer. And also her food page, which is Drea with a Z, DRIAZ. Drea's Trap Kitchen, where she cooks and makes some bomb food, guys. She makes these shrimp wontons. Oh my gosh. But yeah, go follow her. But the quote is, oh my gosh. The quote is Book 1 of Thessalonians, chapter 5, and it says, God says, "In everything give thanks." So in everything, guys, give thanks. Make sure you're thanking God for walking out today and not get into a car accident, or thank God that you didn't, just pass out in the middle of the supermarket. It's so funny. And this really put it into perspective, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. I just want to say happy holidays and enjoy your turkey day. And, like I said, please tell me what you're thankful for. I would love to hear. But what I'm going to leave you with is I was turning out of the Aldi/Dollar Tree parking lot today, getting some tablecloths for my island. Like I said, small Thanksgiving. And I was just being really impatient on my, on the outgoing side. So the side I was turning out, if you made a right, you would be going north. And if you made a left, you would be going south. So I was trying to go southbound towards Walmart. And the guy going northbound was just going so slow. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So when I finally get to turn about maybe like 3/4 of the I would say a quarter mile of, the light, I seen someone make a wild turn from the southbound lane over into the northbound lane into like a little cut in the road. And he almost got into a car accident with another car who was speeding southbound, who just sped past me. So it's just like, be thankful and be patient, because if I would have turned any faster, or if I would have been at that like maybe 2 seconds before, knowing the way I drive, I probably would have hit the car or been in the middle of an accident or just missed an accident. So when things don't go your way, or your plan is not going as planned, or you feel like God is not listening to you, be patient. Be patient and be thankful. And that's really it, guys. Like I said, I hope you have a happy holiday and a happy Thanksgiving. I love you guys all. I'm so thankful for you. Thankful for you continuously listening and giving me feedback. And yeah, next episode, I'm going to give you a little hint on what I'm talking about next episode. I wanted to get into it this episode, but, I didn't want to be too in-depth. I should have talked about this first, but, I do want to talk about, and this episode will be out in the next 2-3 days, so it's awesome that, I'm doing it twice a week, so no topic goes too stale. I will be talking about, the crime rate and the murder rate increasing state to state, and what's going on in these states with gun crime. Critical race theory, is it important to implicate it within schools? The Kyle Rittenhouse verdict, the Ahmaud Arbery trial and verdict, mixed races amongst white people and black people. And yeah, that's really it. We're gonna have another race topic, and talk about the climate of racial relations in America right now. I did one 2 years ago where I spoke on racism, and we were talking about Donald Trump. So it's nice to always go back or re-listen to your previous work, and reflect on it, show how you've transitioned. And that's the theme, guys. Show how you transition in your thinking and your emotions and how you feel about the climate. So, like I said, that's really it. I'll be talking about. I said I was going to talk about the Black Empower Summit, but ultimately, I'm going to be sending out some more information. It is in the next 3 months, so I really have to get on my BS and start planning. But I'm going to reiterate some sign-up sheets and a Google form that I'll be sending out for people to partake in. Like I said, if you're interested in either being a speaker or attendee, hit me up. My email is Chantizzy, CHVNTIZZY TV @gmail.com. And just hit me up, yeah. And then Chantizzy TV, it is on hold. I am planning to get a desktop so I really could do some editing. But I'm thinking of doing my first vlog as a Christmas vlog, or, a first time making a ply vlog, office setup vlog where I'm setting up like a mini studio / office for my podcast and my guest room, or just things. So I'm excited for that, and yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy holidays. I hope you enjoy and eat lots of turkey and get meat sweats. Bye.
We climbed up in the backseat, CVS parking spot. I called you baby Wiz, cause I swear you be chiefin'. You told me mind your biz, I had your panties leaking. And now it's 2021, and baby I'm the one. But not for you, cause swear you had my heart under a gun. I told you once, I told you twice, but never 3 times. That if you push the right buttons, you'll never be mine. When you hop up and out of my way, you say you love me when I try to walk away. I know you thought my love was here to stay. Come on. 2012, you had a Chevy. I broke your water like a levee. I knew my worth, you wasn't ready. You dodged me heavy. Look, 2012, you had a Chevy.